one of the things I'm noticing is I just don't know how to flex my muscles. I've never really done any kind of flexing before. This is the first time I've ever really done this before. But it's clear, I'm looking at my back. It's clear that my back, I've got muscle back there. It's just, how do I show it? My name is Jesse. I'm in my 40s and I'm on a mission to lengthen my lifespan while getting jacked. This is my channel. So this bulk, actually, I do feel as though I did gain some mass, and I especially feel like I've gained it a little bit up in the chest. I've got some more shoulders. I really do feel like, even though they're not the 24-inch guns, or whatever that I'd love to have, I do feel like I'm seeing some better separation in my shoulders and my biceps. So I feel like I've got some, on this bulk, I definitely did get some size on those elements. So I really was trying to get that V taper. One of the things that I know that I neglected, and this is something I typically, I always neglect, is my legs. And it's not just for the reasons why we all neglect our legs. I have 2 torn meniscuses. And so it's just like such a minefield, so difficult for me to want to get in there. So I've got a new gym membership. They've got all new equipment that I can really use to really get the muscle built without really having to worry so much about some of the potentials for upsetting that injury. I'm still going to be doing my deadlifts, I'm still going to be doing my squats, but I'm going to add these into it and really go for a little bit more high rep on my legs. I'm going to shred now. I'm going to get these abs. We're going to see these abs. I mean, you can sort of, you can sort of see them. They're down there. But we're really going to dig them out. I have done a thing where I've touched them once a week. I really haven't hit my abs that hard. And that is because I am a lazy bastard. I'm not really happy with my chest. I think that's always been a sort of a weak place for me. But I am definitely, I definitely did see the growth in the shoulders and the arms. So we're going to go to the gym. I'm going to put in a good workout today. We're going to do legs and shoulders. Yes, legs and shoulders. I'm combining those two things together. Let's take a little drive and we'll get there. Let's see if I can. So today I'm going to do a classic. I'm in my 40s. I remember before. You remember when Red Bull was like, oh my God, you're drinking Red Bull. So let's talk about caffeine. Let's talk about pre-workouts. Might as well. We're gonna go have us a day. One of the things I try to do is not go high stim whenever I do a leg day, because leg days, oftentimes you're doing like a Valsalva maneuver. So a Valsalva maneuver is whenever you're holding your breath, you're sort of bearing down, and you're doing deadlift or you're doing squat. I'm going to be doing both of those today. So I don't want to over caffeinate. And you might be saying, well, wait a minute, why are you doing C4 if you don't want to over caffeinate? Well, in the strange American world that we live in, C4 doesn't actually have that much caffeine. It has 150 milligrams. Like a Celsius has like 200. And there's all those other energy. There's a lot of them out there that are pre-workouts that have 300 and 400 milligrams of caffeine. So I'm just wanting to do the 150 milligrams. The other thing I may start stacking with that is this Make stuff. So Make is it's a pyramid scheme type of a brand that it has some peptides in there that basically they suppress myostatin. Myostatin is the thing that limits your muscle growth. And so I'm actually kind of excited about that. So I've got some of this and I will report back on how this works. On a regular day, here's what I would probably do. I'd probably put this in there. Make this stuff has 100 milligrams and add that to 250 milligrams before like a long workout. So I'm about to do 2 hours, maybe 3 hours in the gym. What I'm planning on doing, I'm going to start with the C4. And if I'm like dying after a while, maybe I'll go and I'll throw in some of this Make stuff. So basically I'm adding this to my water. C4, I actually have written a rap about C4 Would you like to hear it? So, you know, sometimes they do raps that have a lot of lyrics and then, you know, but mine is more about attitude. And so here it goes. C4 on the flow, C4, let's go. C4 on the flow, let's go. Or something like that. One of the things though that I do like about C4 is that it comes with some creatine in it. It's got some beta alanine in it. So it's not just the caffeine you're doing. That is the active ingredient, right? Okay, so so a lot of these, oh man, this is so much better of a pre-workout. The active ingredient is caffeine. Like the one thing that we know for sure that works to give you a better workout is caffeine. So I'm going to take in a little extra caffeine. I'm going to sip on this on the way to the gym. I'm going to put a shirt on. C4, 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 C4. On the float, on the float, on the float, on the float. Go, go. Oh, C4. What? It's really good. It's like Kool-Aid, and then you start sort of feeling a little fuzzy and feeling little tingles. It's been a while since I've had C4 on the float, C4. So this is the first time I was ever really able to use a hack squat. So all the other times I've ever done hack squat, it was the literal hack squat, like where you put the weight in front of you in the traditional manner. I've seen these before. I've always wanted to use them, especially because I have such bad knee mobility. And so this, I know I only have one plate on each side. It's actually weighted already. I don't know exactly what the weight is. It felt like it was more than 45 pounds. Like it felt like it was much more than 45 pounds. So I'm not sure what the exact weight is there. It could just be that I'm incredibly weak. But I did 4 sets of just as many as I could. So this is my first one. I just started off 4 sets, as many as I can. And I just kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then got to do the actual squat. So again, I'm not really squatting a lot of weight here. It's kind of embarrassing. And this is one of those things where I'm so fatherly here. So I'm going to tell you what I used to squat. So for the longest time I could squat 315, and I would do 315 for like sets of 10. And then I did some weight loss, and I also started noticing that I really was having a lot of hard time with my meniscus. So I've got 2 meniscus tears. I've got on both knees, I've got meniscus tears. I've had them looked at. There's nothing that they can really do other than take out some tissue to help me to be a little bit more comfortable. But what I've been able to do over the last, I would say I haven't really had any pain in the last 5 years, as long as I'm not running, and I hate running anyway. So, so as long as I'm not running, I'm totally fine. One of the things that I've noticed over the years is that if I load up my weight a little too much, then I can run into sometimes getting those Baker's cysts. So now I will say this, as part of this channel though, and I appreciate everybody's comments, and I appreciate, like, it's really been awesome. This channel just started and I've already had so much love. And I just want to say that because of that, I will be challenging myself to get to higher weights. So we're going to be doing the progressive overload. Right now, we are cutting. We're trying to keep as much of the weight as or as much of the muscle that we harvested. But I mean, and to be honest, you know, I'm not wearing anything that shows you my legs. And to be honest, it's, I mean, there's muscle there, and we're going to get the definition with the dieting, but I will say I have let my muscles waste over the past 5 years. So I've been lifting now since I was 30. I started later than most guys do. So I've been lifting since I'm 30. I was 30, I'm 45 or 44 now. And so for a while I was up to like 240 pounds. I let myself drop down, and I got all the way down to like 215. I'm up now to about what was it? It was like 224, 225. I'm at about 18-ish% body fat. So I want to get that body fat down and really, really see what muscle I have. And then we're going to do some main gaining. But yeah, so I did, what I'm going for here is sets of 15. So I'm really just focusing on getting as good a form as I possibly can every single repetition, every single set. And really for me, the primary goal here is avoiding injury. I kept coming back, kept coming back. This gym, I actually joined this gym specifically for the fact that they're okay with me filming. This is something that I've never really done myself. I don't know, do you guys film in the gym? I've always been a little bit bashful to do so, but I always love watching another person's workout. And I will say watching this right now is really helpful for me as I look at, okay, what is my form? Looking at this, and you can be the form police. I'm happy to have form police go over what I'm doing. If you notice, I feel like I'm doing a little bit of the butt wink. Now you can't really see it very well with these angles. I'll have to work on getting better at recording in the gym. Next up is leg extensions. And leg extensions actually was one of the things that I remember my doctor said, just never do leg extensions because you have these torn meniscuses. I have noticed that I can do leg extensions just fine. I'm not doing them heavy leg extensions. I'm really focusing again on getting at least 15 repetitions. I'm really trying to make sure that I'm not jarring the muscle at all, not jarring the movement. I am trying to give some explosive charge to the top end and sort of on the negative, I'm trying to sort of slow it down to sort of fight it on the negative. But what's interesting is that with my torn meniscuses, I've not really had a problem with these exercises. Next up is the leg curls, and I did 4 sets of 15 on these leg curls, and basically some of them I went to 20. But the big thing here is everyone's talking about seated leg curls are better than the laying down, the prone leg curls. And while they might have some kind of science in it, dude, I'm just saying, I don't get the same activation. I don't get the same feel. I love the ones where I'm laying down. This is literally the kind that I prefer. I feel like I get a better activation, and I'm gonna go do deadlifts after this, but crazy enough, I didn't actually do deadlifts in this workout. So normally I would do these and then I would go straight to deadlifts after that, but I'm going straight to failure. I'm giving every little bit I can, and I always feel a better activation there. Yes, they talk about the stretch and all that other stuff, but I don't know, man. Next up, I went from there, I'm doing calves. Got to get the calves. Now, here's the thing about calves. This is the seated calf. I like to call it, it's kind of like riding the bucking bronco here. You kind of sort of feel like you're in this, like, you put a quarter in and you're riding that ride outside of Kmart. But these are brutal. I didn't do many calf exercises. My calves, generally, they come in pretty well. My calves are pretty proportional to the rest of my legs, which I'm not saying is great. But I also take it pretty easy on my calves, just so that I am not crippled the next day. However, this day I did 4 sets of the seated calf raises, no problems, and really no problems the next day. This is something I need to challenge myself more on, and doing the seated and then the standing is something I think I'm going to do in my next workout. After this, I went to the water fountain and I did the Make pyramid scheme. It's called Make Fit stuff. It's got 100 milligrams of caffeine in it. It's got NR in it, and that myostatin inhibitor, which, if it works, that's awesome. Because next up is shoulders. And so I always like starting with something that's going to activate my rear delts. So I'm doing the reverse pec deck here, and I always like to do 4 sets of of this to start off, really get the reverse pec deck going on. And yeah, so getting those activated. And yeah, this was a pretty grueling workout just because I was stacking two sort of larger body parts together, but got this taken care of. One of the things I'm noticing here is that I'm sort of inconsistent with my elbow placement. I will say, doing a video review of your own workout is pretty epic. I kind of wish I would have started doing this a long time ago and not just started this because I wanted to do a vlog. One of the things I'm noticing is just slight variation from my right and left elbow, and just a slight variation in how it looks on my right and left shoulder. Not a huge thing, not something I would even notice. I didn't notice the feeling of it, but it just sort of slight difference. Now this could be that my camera was at a slight angle, but yeah, I'm going to failure on this, and you know, I'm really getting into the burn. Okay, so next up, I'm doing all these things with this gym. This gym is really awesome. And so the gym is, they've got these really great machines. And so I'm really trying to avoid injury here. So I'm trying to use as many machines as possible. Going for, every single time I'm shooting for that 15 rep zone. Really going for getting maximum contraction, getting as explosive as I can on the way up, and then just trying to resist it on the way down on that negative. Just really trying to get that stretch, and yeah, making a few faces along the way. So I remember one time I took my wife to the gym and she saw me making faces. She thought I was kidding around. No, that is quite literally the face of glory. Okay, after this, I have some things that I did in this workout that I did not actually film, and this is because there was a sort of a bigger girl that was there, and I didn't want to make her feel awkward or weird. I don't know what it is. I just, you know, I'm taking a camera into the gym. It's kind of, I'm sort of overcoming that weirdness just in myself. I don't care if there's other dudes there. I don't care if it's just like, I don't care if it's like just the average, like there's some women there that are like, dude, I don't care. I'm doing my thing and it's cool, right? And then there's some people that I just don't want to make them feel, I would do this, I would also do this for like, if there was just like a super beginner lifter dude, I don't want people to feel like I could possibly ever make fun of them or anything like that. Or you bunch of assholes, I bet you would be all like, oh, look at this person who doesn't belong in the gym. Obviously, I'm kidding. If you're into fitness, if you've watched this far into a fitness video, you're someone who probably is totally cool to be around in the gym. Anyway, I did standing lateral raises, I did cable extensions, and I finished off with, I was talking to a guy, he's like, had to be in his 70s, and he's like, have you ever done number threes? And so you've probably done this where you take the weight, it's on the sides, and you go up, you know, or forward, and then you go down, and then you go up. And so I maxed out with just a random dude in the gym. Okay, so here's what we're working with. This is, according to the scan, this is between somewhere around 18 to 19% body fat. You can still sort of, I mean, you can see some of my abs when I flex, but I've still got some fat for sure here. I just did legs. I wish I could show you legs, but I can't. I've got to get maybe some shorts and show off the legs. They're not great. There's not much to show off. But we're going to take a quick look and see where I am. I just did the scan today. It came up, I'm 224 pounds. I'm looking to get down, probably trying to lose about 10 pounds of just overall, trying to get the fat off, to get down to the muscle and just really, I want to see striations. I want to see all this stuff here. So I'm just going to do a little flexing just to see what I'm working with. a tough flex. One of the things I'm noticing is I just don't know how to flex my muscles. I've never really done any kind of flexing before. This is the first time I've ever really done this before. So I'm just basing it off of, watching TV, watching the Arnold, the Olympia, all these guys. So I'm just sort of trying to figure out these poses by myself. I'm going to try to get somebody in here to teach me how. But it's clear, I'm looking at my back. It's clear that my back, I've got muscle back there. It's just how do I show it, right? So, it's kind of interesting. It's interesting, I flexed my pec really hard, and I got like a Charlie horse in my pec. All right, that's all I got for you this week. I'll look forward to seeing you next week. I am in the middle of this diet, and I gotta say, I'm about to go to the gym right now and hopefully film it again for you. So let me know, what do you think? I'm all up for as many pieces of advice. Thanks so much for the encouragement. Let's get in this together. Are you in your 40s, maybe your 30s, maybe your 50s, and you're looking to see what you can possibly do? Let's get into this together. Let me know you're out there. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you next week.